What's up everybody, Rain here, coming at you with another Magic 2015 draft. Right out of this pack our rare is Argent Sphinx, and I'm willing to give Affinity another try for Argent Sphinx. It's a 4 mana 4/3 flyer, which is excellent. Metalcraft is just an upside, so even if we don't end up wanting to be Affinity, we'll still just play this. The upside is very nice though. It basically makes him able to block and flicker, dodge removal. Here we can take a Blinkmoth Nexus. I think it's pretty clear with our first pick of Argent Sphinx that Blinkmoth is a very good choice. Wouldn't hate a Mechanist. Other really good cards in this pack. Kozilek's Predator. It's a very underwhelming pack, and Blinkmoth's pretty much the only really good card anyway. Here we can take a Hikari. It's a bit late to see one. Typically the Affinity decks are blue-white anyway, so Hikari is already a cost-efficient flyer, and we could end up with some Spirits or Arcane spells. We could also take an Etched Oracle, but I think that's a lot worse, so we'll take the Hikari. Whew, another Hikari? I guess we might just be moving into Spirits. Definitely gonna take the Hikari over Throwing Bird, Sickle Slicer, and Aquastrand Spider. Again, I think Spirits is the best deck in the format, so it's also a lot of fun, so I like playing it. But also, again, I think it's a little early to call. I've done about 10 drafts of this. Spirits is the only deck I've seen consistently win. I don't think I've ever seen a Spirits deck lose, regardless if I was playing it or if an opponent was playing it. To be fair, I was playing it most of the time. We could take a Ghostly Changeling, it is a Spirit. You can also take Alloymur, which is just really good. It can also just lead us back into Affinity. I also think it's just fine in any deck. Best cards in this pack: Alloymur, Helium Squirter, Aether Snipe. Looks like blue is pretty open. We're going to take the Alloymur. It ramps us into our Hikaris, for instance. It fixes us if we want to play something else. Waxbane Baku, perfect. This is a good sign that Spirits is open. Waxbane Baku is incredible. Demur Aqueduct could be pretty cool too, since it might allow us to play Argent Sphinx if we get some other fixing. But I think it's just a pretty easy Waxbane here. This card is nuts. Also, it's like adorable. How can you not love that? Well, if you're playing against it, I guess. Scuttling Death has a pretty cool soul shift, decent body. Ghostly Changeling again is another spirit. But you can do better than Ghostly Changeling. You can pick them up later if you really want them. I think I'm going to take the Scuttling Death. Doesn't get back our Hikaris, but it gets back most spirits. I think we're pretty solidly off the Argent Sphinx plan. We may come back to just playing it all in a splash or something. Or if we look at next pack and it's just way too open for blue. Because we could be playing like blue-white Affinity Spirits, which would be very weird. But possible, I guess. Arrest or Ghostly Changeling. Gonna take Arrest. It's really good. Spectral Procession, looks like we're base white anyway, so very happy to see it. Glinthawk Idols, good in Affinity, but Spectral Procession's definitely better. Long forgotten goatee, here we come. So good with Spectral Procession. Terashi's Grasp versus Mechanist. I'd say we're not totally off the Affinity plan yet. So I'll take the Mechanist over the sideboard card. May not play it though. Take the Grasp here over Kite Sail and Bloodthorn Vampire. A lot of our creatures already have flying. Bloodthorn Vampire can be pretty cool, but I think Grasp is a little better. Gonna take the Scuttling Death over the Vampire Outcasts. Vampire Outcast doesn't look like quite a phenomenal creature. Take Sign in Blood, this is very annoying because we're basically putting the person to our left on black vampires. Which means we may not get some black in next pack. But black looked so open that even if the person passing in pack 2 is in black, then we'll get some black in pack 3. Choosing between two cards, it's hard. What was our stick? Plague Rusalka? Awesome. Here we can take a Spread the Sickness or a Chimeric Mass. Chimeric Mass is just good in most decks. Proliferate isn't really doing much for us. It proliferates Waxmane Baku, and that's it. I think I just want the Chimeric Mass as a general fat creature. It's always on curve. Here we could take a Thief of Hope, which is really good in the Spirits deck. We could take a Moonlit Strider, which is also very good in the Spirits deck. Or we could take a Necroskitter, which we don't have any other ways of making it work. I think it's between Thief and Strider. We're actually a fairly mid-rangey Spirit deck with all our 5 costs and the Alloy Mirror. I think Moonlit Strider giving protection and keeping us alive in the mid-game is a little more important than the Thief's attrition game. Though it's very close. Mirror Entity is a spirit, I will have you know. Not only is this a spirit, it's a very good one. It's ridiculous that Mirror Entity made it that far. Guess we cut off white really well. Moonlit Strider versus Ghostly Changeling. We do need a couple more 3-drop spirits to work with our Moonlit Strider and potentially Scuttling Deaths. So Ghostly Changing is actually more tempting than it normally would be. Also, we'd like to curve out. think I'm gonna take Ghostly Changeling over Moonlit Strider here. It's not a pick I'd normally make. We can Soul Shift Mirror Entity too, which is awesome. Pillar of the Sleepless is phenomenal. Yeah, not even close. I'm so glad they reprinted this card. It was so fun back in Ravnica. I actually think Arrest might be a little better in this format, but Pillory's no joke either. Otherworldly Journey is an arcane spell. We don't need Apostle's Blessing because we have a Strider, and we don't really care too much if our creatures die because of Soul Shift. Do you think Otherworldly Journey is the pick? Really would like a Thief of Hope. Hello, Thief of Hope. Iona is way too expensive for this deck. Thief of Hope is phenomenal. I would like a second one too, actually. Mirran Crusader? Hell yes. Somebody wants to play Iona, go ahead. I'll just snap up these late white cards because apparently nobody else is in white. If you can cast Iona and draft, great job. Waiting for Paulo to pass his Rosas. I suppose we take the black card? We could also take Sylvan Bounty. I'm really surprised that the guy next to us isn't in Vampires. Let's take the Sylvan Bounty. It can stop some people from splashing white. Thief of Hope made it back. Super happy about that. Plagued Rusalka is a card I would play. Bone Splinters is also a good card. Let's take a look at our removal. We have Arrest, Pseudo removal, and Underworldly Journey, and Pillory. I'm gonna take the Bone Splinters. Scuttling Death. Such a shock. The black-white spirits is so open all the time. Hoping for another Waxmane Baku in the next pack. Ghost Council of Varsova would be phenomenal. It's the best Spirits win condition. Take a Shrivel for the board. We got our stick. It's a Bloodthirst Vampire. I think I like Bone Splitters more. He should really be in aggro vampires, but he isn't. Ghostly Changeling is a spirit. Blinding Soul Eater is quite good. I think our deck is synergy enough that we can actually start affording to take slightly less powerful cards over the Soul Eater. Like, this deck is insane. Only a few cards that will actually even make the main. This pack has a Moonlit Strider, which is pretty solid, especially considering we just picked up another Ghostly. We have 4, 5, 6, 7 targets for the Soul Shift, which is a very good amount. What does Puppeteer Click do? Reanimate your opponent's ship. Otherworldly Journey, again pretty solid, good with Mirran Crusader, good with Thief of Hope, good against things like Arrest. We'll take the Puppeteer Click. It's a little bit more of a sideboard card, but could be pretty good. Definitely Oblivion Ring here. It's one of the cards I actually am going to put in my main deck. Here we could take an Arrest, or nothing. Grim Affliction's pretty good. Please, just one more Waxmane Baku. It's a common and it's all I want. It's going to turn out somebody else is in Black-White Spirits and somehow we got all this. And I will just be very confused. Death Denied against control decks? Sign in Blood against control decks? Just have like a really good control sideboard between Puppeteer Click, Death Denied, and Sign in Blood. Good tokens sideboard against them with Shrivel. Then we also have 3 Scuttling Deaths. We have a lot of removal in our main deck. Let's take the Boros Garrison. I'll play it probably. Our black's a little heavy. Our white is a little heavy as well, but Boros Garrison's a pretty good card advantage. So I'm happy to have it. Maybe I should have taken Bone Splinters. Surgical Extraction versus hating out one of these cards. I suppose we'll take the Combat Trick. Not really worried about the creatures. Just don't have to play around that quite as much. Let's consider cuts here. We actually have a really good curve now. Along with only 2 colors, the Alloymur is not going to make it. That's the first time I've said that. Plague Dracolica might just be a little worse than my other spirits. And maybe a Scuttling Death? It's so good though. Is Chimeric Mass not making the cut? No way. Chimeric Mass is awesome. Ugh. Why is our deck so good? We'll take the Terashi's Grasp. I'm not playing another Otherworldly or Dead Drone in this deck. It's way too good. Terashi's Grasp is a good sideboard card. I might play that Moonlit Strider actually. Sickle Slicer is a good card. Where was the sideboard card I took? Terashi's Grasp. And we got our stick. Let's take a look for what it is. Dead Drone. Okay. Need to make 2 cuts. I'm gonna do a quick curve count. Five drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 3 drops, along with a good amount of removal. No 2 drops, but that's fine. Let's count the 4 drops. We have 3, kind of 4 drops. I think the Striders stay in. I think one of our 5 drops leaves in Scuttling Death. Ugh, the Soul Shift is really nice though. Yeah, I'll take one out. I think Akari's still a little better, despite the fact that you only have 1 arcane spell. It's just a better body with a better ability. And 1 more card. I can't believe Chimeric Mass is on the chopping block. I really want to keep my Otherworldly Journey for my Hikaris and Thief of Hopes. Grim Affliction is not amazing. Bone Splitters. These 2 already sacrificed themselves. Soul Shift. The Soul Shift 2 is useless in my deck, but that's okay. Bone Splinters might just be not necessary. We have 2 Arrests, an Oblivion Ring, Otherworldly Journey, and a Grim Affliction. We can board it in. That'll make our token matchup a little better. We definitely want white early. We have a Mirran Crusader and a Spectral Procession. Black, we can afford to play Sign in Blood a little later, but we want to get Thief of Hope down pretty early. So let's lean towards white, but have about equal sources. So 9-8. Alright guys, I'll be back for gameplay.